Hey everyone, and welcome to RezoCast episode 151. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hov and Wilson. Triton will be joining us a little bit later. We think.
We don't know. He's lost in Ohio.
Yeah, we don't know. He said something about traffic. Actually said another person's name, so I was really confused.
Oh yeah, because you don't pay attention. So Triton this week, after we told him, I think just last week, to go through Ryan at On Air PC, he bought a PC from Ryan at On Air PC, and it just so happens Ryan's only like 2 hours from us, so he was like, "Don't even worry about the shipping, man. Just meet me halfway." So he was meeting him in Ohio, and Ryan hit a little bit of construction, so he was running a little late. That's all.
Nice.
That's our boy.
Well, that's exciting. That's an exciting delay.
I think he said something about Wilson being a dick or something.
Absolutely.
No, like I'm not trying to fuck with you. He Triton, like in talking to him, was like, "Yeah, I'm on the podcast with like Wilson and Hov," and he said something. Yeah, tell Wilson he's a dick or something. And I was like, "Yep."
I told Triton to leave me out. I was like, "Don't drop my name."
Actually, I'm pretty sure you literally said, "Drop my name."
I did. It's like, "Drop my name."
No, but we're not sponsored by them in any way. But good dude, good company if you need to get a computer. Triton said that it's funny because they used to sponsor DCP, and Pope used to do like an ad read and talked about how like you can just go in, you can know nothing, and just say, "I want to play this game and do this and this," and they'll build you one. Literally, that's what Triton did. He told me about it. He was like, "I have no goddamn idea." He was like, "I told him what games I want to play, and that maybe I'll use it for like making a YouTube video a month." And he was like, "All right, I can get you this for this price. I could sell you this one, but you don't need it." So Triton was very
that's cool.
Very happy that he wasn't
excited.
Upsold or anything. He even threw in some. He was like, "I got kids and they like all those colors and crazy shit in their computer. I don't really care, but I'm gonna throw some in for you."
That's awesome. Well, we are RezoCast, a Destiny-centric podcast out of the clan, Team Resolute, but we also talk about other games here and there, as Hov mentioned last week, which I love the way you did that. You're like, I don't know if we say that, but I say that.
What is I meant the whole thing. Like, I feel like we should put all that stuff out there right at the beginning, so if people don't have a chance to listen the whole way through, they still know what we're about and all our things.
No, we definitely do say that, and I like that we're. This is a conversation that we had a few weeks ago. We were like, we really need to tell people like what we do, like up front, instead of just.
I've been trying to do an About Me episode for like 2 months. About us. I'm sorry, an About Us episode.
I mean, we can do an About You episode if you want.
Can we really?
I mean, I could see it in the potential future, but yeah. So we're a Destiny podcast. We're a gaming podcast. And we like talk about This Week at Bungie, all the other stuff. But we also play games like word insertion, where we give each other words. Mainly Hov gives us all words, and we try to insert them into the conversation, or phrases, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of sponsorships, we are sponsored by Blue Microphones and Headphones. These lovely microphones that you hear us coming out of now.
Wilson, where's yours?
I know it's there in the corner. It's just hidden. He's got a dark screen. Yeah.
No, I still can't see it.
Hov's trying to get the product placement right.
That's literally the only thing we have to do for this sponsorship is show that we have the shit.
Is that better, man? Look, now I'm like all like in the shadows over here. That's why I kind of had
You're
it like
always in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's comfortable here, dude.
But we love the guys. Usually you can use code RezoCast for 20% off on the store. They're blending their website right now. Got a lot going on, so in the future we'll let you know. But we're excited to be with those guys. And yeah, that's about it for the intro stuff. Other than that, Hov, how's your week been, man?
I don't really remember. I haven't done that much. It's been kind of boring.
Really?
I don't know. I worked a lot.
I know something that's happened about your week. You got some good lineups coming up for the podcast. That's something you did this week.
I didn't do all that this week, Lego. I don't know why you still think that. You know what?
You finalized.
I'm tired of this abuse. I just want you to know this. For anyone listening, from this week on, we have something like 7 or 8 weeks in a row with guests. All of them, I think every single one of them is a first-time guest on this podcast. And I'm thinking it may be my parting gift to these guys. I may line all these up and then just say, fuck y'all, I'm out.
Fuck y'all.
Y'all.
That'd be awful. Ho.
Y'all gon' get. Y'all gon' get.
I was gonna say, to take a word from Lego. Y'all.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I guess, yeah. So finalize some stuff. Like I said, we have a nice mix of people who do IRL Destiny stuff. We have...
That's clever. I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? We have some artist. Do we have an artist?
Yeah, kind of.
No, not finalized yet. I do have an artist coming, like an actual.
Well,
like, yeah, I know, but I'm saying like an actual drawing and painting artist. A kind of meme and joke generator type of person. We got some other podcast hosts. We got some PvE people. We got some PvP people. You know what?
It really is diverse.
I just want to say, I didn't even mean to make it that diverse. That is just how goddamn good I am at this. I really didn't realize that until I just started reading these all off. That is a great fucking...
I want to give a hint to the PvP guys, but it'll give it away if I do. So I'm just not going to say
Here,
anything.
let's give a little hint for all of them. So we have an IRL person.
Okay, that's a good hint. Yeah.
We have a pair of PvP guys.
That's not good enough.
We've got a motivational speaker.
/
like
podcast host?
No.
Who's a motivational speaker?
You'll figure it out.
Come on, I picked up on that.
You know, yeah.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Motivational speaker. I don't get it, and I did the list.
You're thinking too hard.
You're thinking too hard.
Okay.
It's not.
Hov. It's okay. It's not for everyone.
Okay. We got a PvE Sherpa, a duo of PvP Sherpas.
That's better.
That's good.
I don't know. We got a lot of.
Some
cool
would
guests
say
coming up.
you said duo, so I'm gonna say it. Some would say best duo NA. I'm just if you know,
Maybe.
you know. If you tune in, you know who it is.
But yeah, pretty exciting lineup that Hov has
We can just keep talking about what a good job I did if you want.
I love that chat.
Yeah. So nothing else this week?
No,
Loki.
Loki said mana.
He said mana as a guest.
No, I don't know. I've been playing a little Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands 3 just came out, right?
Yeah,
so
last week.
Have you been playing that wasn't it like right after the podcast it ended? Wasn't that what you were saying?
It came out midnight. Like we finished at like 11. It came out about an hour later.
Okay, yeah. So have you been playing that like nonstop? Is it like eating up your time or not really?
No, I played like 2 or 3 nights for like a couple hours at a time. Not that I don't like it. I really enjoy it for what it is. I just I also have been mostly streaming it with Nido. So generally I'm only playing when we stream together, so that way we're like the same place. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Work's been busy. Got a bunch of shit coming up with that. I don't think too much else really going on. I think I've been pretty boring. The last couple weeks have been hard to do anything because I've been spending so much time on Twitter and other social media platforms booking guests.
Wow. Yeah. It's impressive, Hov.
He's the agent.
Showing off that BDE.
For anyone who isn't aware, he's saying big dick energy.
For
Paul Revere. Me and Paul Revere.
What?
Me and Paul Revere got big dick energy. He fucking rode around yelling shit. Was that Paul Revere?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't scared.
He wasn't just yelling anything. He was letting us know that the British were coming.
Yeah. He could have got fucked up by them British, but he went out and the redcoats, right?
Came cruising in his El Camino.
I
think that's. I'm pretty sure it's historically accurate.
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't. They definitely. I don't think he had an El Camino. He might have had gingivitis, but I don't think he had an El. Dental care was not up to par back in the 1700s. He probably definitely had gingivitis.
Well, I want to start off my week by just saying that, Hov, thanks for, taking care of all the guest stuff for us. You're kind of like our, you've been kind of our podcast sugar daddy since we've, just before the show, you were saying how you'd take care of stuff for us, and we appreciate it. But
Yeah, man.
my week, I really have been gone, and Hov really has been taking care of stuff because I've been out of the state completely, going around New England. I had a just crazy, I don't know, it was like, I posted it on my actual gaming Twitter a long time ago, but there was a couple that, for those who don't know, I'm a wedding videographer, IRL, and
Lego's
there was
not
a
our
couple,
IRL guest, don't worry.
there was a couple, like literally like 2 years ago, that I randomly, we were hiking in Virginia, and they proposed. The guy proposed to
I remember
the
that
girl on the mountain. Yeah, and so we took pictures of them, and then didn't know their names or anything, and kind of forgot about it. And then we got the picture. The guy had handed me his camera, and I took a picture with that. But we had our own camera that we had. That was our professional wedding camera, and so they didn't know we were professionals, and we happened to get really good pictures of them. So we didn't know who they are. The internet found them, and then we got them those pictures. Someone randomly on Reddit was like, I know that person. I was at their rehearsal dinner or whatever, their engagement party. They got them the pictures, connected us, and then she hired me to film their wedding in Maine this last week. And so I flew out to Maine this week, filmed the wedding, and then we just spent time just driving around the mountains and stuff, went into New Hampshire and everything. And it was a blast. It was so much fun. It was a good reset and a good time for me, like, get away from gaming for a little bit. Like, I kind of like had this, I hadn't even thought about it really until today, like watching or last night, I guess, on the plane back, I kind of like watched the ViDoc and everything that was just really, and I'm excited to like jump into Shadowkeep. And it makes me even more excited really to play Destiny again, because before this week I feel like I had kind of been, there wasn't anything super new going on other than the event, the community event, and I was just kind of like bouncing back and forth with PUBG and Apex a little bit, and now I'm kind of like getting more and more pumped for Shadowkeep. Like, I was already excited, but now I'm like, I can see myself like getting really into it again, which is exciting. So
did you
that's kind of my week.
On your trip, did you listen to last week's episode of this podcast?
I did, up until I didn't get to the community questions though.
Oh, that was the best part. It was RezoCast gets real.
Well, it did take. Never mind.
things took a dramatic turn. I heard it got serious. Yeah,
but I didn't quite get there.
I also think, from my own perspective, it was the first time that you were ever not there that I had an episode where I felt like I didn't suck. So it was a good week.
Nice. I mean, I never feel like you suck when I'm gone. I told you.
Yeah, but every time you do it, you give me like backhanded compliments, like, "Oh, it wasn't as bad as you say it was."
This is not true. None of this is true. I'll give critiques in other areas, but I've never given you a critique after the podcast about the way you
don't defend yourself. It's just a joke.
Wilson, how was your week, man? You're muted.
Very quiet. It was a very quiet week. He was muted the entire week. Nope, still muted.
I think he's cursing or something.
There it goes.
No, I heard. Nope, I heard a pop.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
It wasn't muted though. That's the thing. Like, I don't have the little push to mute thing even set up right now. I don't know what that was. It's weird. Anyway, did some spare rations farming. Didn't really get a cool, like, awesome roll. But however, I find that gun is like, no matter what roll you have on it, it's really good on PC anyway. So been trying to do that. I'm gonna wait till next week to do some more, because this week requires me to do a lot of Gambit Prime to get one instead of the Reckoning. But other than that, just been helping some friends like get caught up. Like our buddy Great, he is completely caught up. He's in like the hundreds with his enhancement cores and materials and things like that, and got all of his exotic quests done and things. So I mean, we're pretty much just like doing the same thing as everybody else, like Shadowkeep prep. Like, I'm actually kind of excited that the raid's gonna drop on a Saturday. I'm thinking about maybe trying to go in on day one.
Yeah.
Maximize some light. We'll see what happens. Normally, I'm not a big like day one raid kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's gonna be on a Saturday, it's kind of a no-brainer. So, I'm pretty excited for it. Other than that, dude, just it's been pretty boring work. I tried Borderlands 3. I was having some performance issues on my PC. It's not.
1 in 3 men have performance issues, Wilson, at our age. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's cool. It's pretty normal. But like, it's not like my PC per se. I've played some really demanding games on my PC, no problem.
No,
Ultra
it's
settings,
definitely got some hitches in it. It needs some work.
Yeah. But from what I have played, it's awesome. It's fun. It's a little overwhelming with the amount of guns that get thrown at you, like especially at the beginning.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. I need to not really like kind of worry about that kind of stuff, I guess, until you hit like max level. Like it's just so I want to do a playthrough, but like man, some of the performance hitches are I don't want to say like killing it for me, but I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, let's just like come back to it maybe during Shadowkeep when there's like nothing or not as much to do.
Later in Shadowkeep, you mean, right?
Later in Shadowkeep. You know, maybe somewhere around like December or something, jump into it, and I'm sure it'll be more than fixed by then and a little bit more optimized and stuff. But yeah, I say when there's like a lull in Shadowkeep, but like you look at that calendar and I'm like, shit. Thought I was gonna play some Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know,
man.
That's my favorite part about having a packed Destiny calendar is Wilson not being able to play Pokemon.
Wow.
Oh, I'm going to now just because he said I'm gonna be a fucking zombie this winter. Like
Wilson,
just gonna be up all night playing Pokemon in Destiny.
There was something, I can't remember if you were this kind of player. I know he's in chat, or he was, and but are you the kind of player that chases after light level at all, or not really? I couldn't.
Normally, like the past 2 seasons / expansions, like absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I think for this one, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to chase it pretty quick.
Well,
so.
I was just thinking about what it was gonna be like for those players, because they keep mentioning back, you know, and how it never ends. Like you can keep moving up forever, and like, what's that gonna be like for somebody who chases max light when there is no max light? Do you just like, does the grind never end, and does it still feel satisfying? I'm curious how it's gonna be for those players.
Yeah, I feel like it. I mean, obviously, it's gonna get like capped out like damage wise in game somewhere. It'll get capped out, but like it'll still like that. Some people love to see numbers going up. Like there's plenty of
well, you know,
like
people God, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say no, you're gonna love this, Hov. This is totally a good point. It's right up your alley. In Pokemon Go, level 40 is max level, but there's a lot of people who really still like to see that XP level climb even after 40.
I think you'll have people going for like, oh, I'm the world's first 900, I'm the world's first 950, and then at the end of the season, who had the highest? Like, I think you'll see people just fighting to be the highest possible. Not highest possible, I guess, but the highest at the end of everything. Do you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Wilson will always be the highest.
Yeah, man.
I got another comparison there for you. So in Pokemon, you know, when you're if you get really into it and you do like the breeding stuff and you're trying to get the traits just right, like you want to max out I can't remember, like special attack or like special defense or whatever they are at the time, or
the IVs.
HP. Well, yeah, the IVs, your IV
individual
building.
values.
And so you have that again in Destiny in this newest ViDoc. They kind of break down there, like there's so many stats and they kind of go over them and you see all the numbers. And we're gonna be able to do that again.
We're gonna be able to breed guardians like Pokemon.
I feel like I'm at a goddamn MUFON meeting.
With a bunch of well done.
Thank you. Last thing before we get out of here, I'm done. I'm out. I will say, going back a little bit, because I put this in chat, but I want to put this out there for anybody who listens to this in the audio version. Anybody who can guess one of the upcoming guests in a YouTube comment or iTunes review or on Twitter, you win. What do you win? You win a free nude from the host of your choice.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
AKA just Hov, because he's the only one that'll do it.
I wouldn't really. No, nobody wants to see that. No, but Frill, it'd be fun if you can guess from our hints. If you can guess any of our upcoming guests through November 7th,
It's funny because normally we would do a giveaway. Like I would actually give away a blue microphone for that. That'd be fun, but we can't do that at this current moment. So
well, we're gonna do one soon, though. Don't you worry. But
soon, yeah.
You win a packet of stevia. Hov will ship it out to you. That's what you get.
What?
Yeah.
Ding.
You get an awesome packet of stevia, courtesy of
Oh man, Wilson, did you have anything else this week? Before
no, man.
Mine
was pretty boring. We're both still kind of sick. We were talking about it before the podcast. We were coughing together, and
dang.
And then Discord scattered us to the wind.
Dude,
that was the funniest shit.
For a second. No, that was the funniest thing.
It won't be funny.
Think we could tell it.
It won't.
Basically, a tornado came in, scattered us all into different Discords simultaneously, and then we found our way back.
I was the tornado.
You know what it was like? It was like whenever you know in a rom-com or like a sitcom, whenever like one guy's talking about somebody and they walk out and the guy they were talking about like walks in and they like rotate rooms and they keep walking in. That was us in Discord.
So quickly,
we just kept like,
what happened was it was getting close to podcast time. Me and Wilson had been in the call for 10 or 15 minutes and nobody else was here yet.
But I did say in chat, be there in a second.
It doesn't matter. Discord. We're quit defending yourself. No one's attacking you.
I don't think we're gonna be able to do the story justice. I think we just leave it as a internet tornado in the form of Hov 76 came up and fucked everything up.
But I didn't fuck everything up.
No, it was good. It was great though. Sometimes
the timing was perfect.
Sometimes people fuck things up for the better, Hov.
Did you see the tweet to RezoCast today about you, Wilson?
Oh no.
I tagged you in it just because I wanted you to see it, but you didn't pay attention.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the TWAB. I mean, within that, we're going to talk about the ViDoc probably first thing because that's what was released for. You know, I'm sad I missed last week's episode because you all kind of broke down some of the new like weapon patch stuff that was going on. I know it wasn't much, but I did hear y'all say, you know, you think it's going to be like they've pretty much got it balanced, you know, as balanced as it could get.
We say that and think we'll see, but I think we were happy with most of them.
Yeah. So that was all exciting, but this week we got like the insider in the studio video just about being on the moon, and there was a ton of stuff in there. I just love seeing all the red glowy hive. Like I know we've seen them before and all the ghosts floating around, but just seeing the visuals of it like over and over again in different scenarios. It just makes me realize just how haunted the moon is, I guess. Because it does look really creepy. Like it keeps giving off that. The more I see of it, the more I think I'm gonna see of it, the more I think I'm gonna like be like, oh, it's not that spooky anymore. But it continues to feel spooky no matter how much they show, which is impressive.
That's what she said.
Didn't think about it that way.
You never do.
But the main overall theme of the video was that Destiny 2, they're building a universe that is like makes it feel like we're expanding it, or us as a community are expanding it. And the way they talked about it was just really, it reminded me of, you remember when they were talking about
Ermagerd.
Was it Forsaken or something? Where they started talking about like that you could tell the devs were getting excited. It was whenever they split from EA. I think that's
Activision.
Yeah, whenever they split from Activision, you could tell they were getting hyped for what they had next, and I have that same feeling like in this ViDoc and going into everything they were showing off, and just even when they're in the UI and stuff, it just looks so clean and looks like a fresh Destiny that we haven't really seen. I feel like it's gonna feel like, you know, not just an expansion, but an evolution of the game. Like, even if there's smaller changes that are setting the stones for something bigger,
I like the part they said something like, Season 8 is going to start that. Season 9 will continue it. Season 10 will start to settle in, but it's not till Season 11 that you'll totally see. So, like, they have a lot of shit changing and planned.
Yeah.
Also,
it's really
most
cool.
importantly,
we are joined by Triton Plez.
What's up, fellas?
Triton, we're reunited. I wasn't here last week, so I don't get the joy of seeing you on Discord screen. Although I did edit your face in a way, I guess, you know, editing the YouTube version. So there's that.
It's a weird.
It's not like I didn't see you, is what I'm saying.
Hey, Triton,
you
talk
didn't
a minute
see
for me.
What's that?
Just
talking.
talk.
I'm talking.
Okay, I'm gonna turn you up a little
We're
bit.
just setting your levels.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all
All right.
Just making sure you're good.
Wait, you did editing on him? Can you do editing on me and make me look like an alien?
Yeah, I'll give you
You
that.
already look like a
What is the
alien.
Instagram or what's the like shiny like face filters on what's the app? Not Instagram, but what are all the cool kids using? Snapchat. I'll give you some Snapchat filters.
There you go.
Yeah.
Send me
What
some
are
snaps,
all the
dog.
cool kids using?
I don't know. I'm old now, and y'all talked about y'all being old.
Yeah, because
On
we're
the
all
last episode.
multiple years older than you.
I mean, how many is multiple?
I'm about to
I
be
don't feel like y'all are-
36 in March, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's
but I get
like
to a
3
point
years older than me. It's not that big of a deal.
I'm sorry, how old are you?
31.
Oh, to be 31.
Exactly. I would call 5
Good days.
multiple.
Okay.
Well, I mean, do you want me to look in the dictionary?
Just like a couple of people is 2, yeah.
A couple is 2.
I just wanted to get Hov all riled up. What were we talking about? Welcome, Triton, first of all. Triton.
We
how's
discussed
week
your trip
been,
to
man? Since
Ohio.
you're
Yeah.
just joining us. It's perfect timing. We're not really
yeah.
into much yet.
No, the week's been really good. Definitely. After the podcast, I think, or during the podcast even. Oh, what does Wilson have? Gummy bears.
Gummies.
Oh man, unleashing some gummy bears.
Throw me some.
I think maybe it was like either before, during, or after the last pod. I'd mentioned like, hey, I wanted to maybe get into PC gaming, and I've thought about that for a long time. Talking with people with the clan, I've looked up pre-builds, I've kind of looked up parts, and just there's some people, relatives, and friends here that are like, oh, maybe we could build something. But Wilson and Hov both gave me an awesome recommendation for on-air PC. And so I gave him a call on Tuesday and just literally got back from picking up the PC from Ohio. And it was just an awesome experience. So I'm really looking forward to gaming going forward here because I returned the Borderlands 3 on PlayStation 4 so that I could get it on PC. So I got
still playing
Borderlands
on
3 on
PS4.
PC. So I have to get that loaded up and everything, but I just brought it in back here actually, hooked it up real
Nice.
quick, just the power, and it's awesome. And I can't say enough about just the experience I had with On Air. It just was awesome. So not only did he pretty much walk me through what I would want based on the games I play as opposed to asking me parts because I knew nothing, but he also just was willing to drive out an hour through some construction to deliver the PC as well. And then has been super accessible, answered all my questions, helped me pick out some other things too. So just a great experience all the way through.
Two things. One, what was it that he said about Wilson? I can't remember.
Yes,
I
do
think
tell.
I talked to Wilson. I said, I'm going to see Wilson Hov tonight. And he said, I haven't talked to Wilson forever, so tell him F you. And then also he said that he would probably be a little crispy. Those were in reference to the...
Hey, there it is. He ain't lying. True.
And the other thing,
True.
so does that mean you're also going to play PUBG with us now?
I guess I can play PUBG.
Oh,
PUBG's only like
man.
$20.
He did mention that PUBG would be the one game that, like, if you get in like a super big battle with like maybe 15 plus people that like all on the same screen, that it could drop frames. That was the only.
One, you're never
only
going to see
warning.
15 people.
True.
Okay.
That'll be the
Two,
last thing you see.
even with that
Lower your
game,
settings anyway.
I turn
Yeah.
everything way down. I go for
Yeah.
performance over prettiness with PUBG anyway, so
Okay.
you'll be fine.
Oh.
Listen, if Triton comes to PUBG, I may come out of retirement.
Yeah.
Oh
that'd be
man.
fun.
Oh, he definitely is.
I'll dust off the account, the Great's mom account.
Wilson, it's gotten. I mean, it's still
That's
a little
my
buggy.
character's name, Triton,
Yeah.
by the way. It's my
Great's
buddy's
mom.
Yeah, Great's mom.
It's still a little buggy and such, but it's in a way better place than when you left.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
down,
it's
dude.
pretty fun.
Hey, as long as you don't hit me in the back of the fucking head with a frying pan, we're good.
That doesn't sound.
Right.
I don't know. That still doesn't sound like something I would do.
If you can go 5 minutes without hitting me with a frying pan, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, now we're getting a little. It was one time in all the games we played. We've shot each other quite a bit.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
there's
game
been-
where it was me, you, and Dewey
Every
at
night.
Zarky, and we just kept knocking each other, and then one would get the other one up, and then someone else would come? Yeah, that was. Okay.
Didn't Dewey kill both of us by the end of that?
Yeah, me and you were like fighting each other, and Dewey kept getting the other one up, Because I would knock Wilson, and I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not getting you up. So Dewey would run over from the other side of town and get Wilson up. Then Wilson would knock me, and Dewey would come get me up. And then at some point, Dewey just internally said, fuck these guys, and killed both of us.
Yeah.
It's normally the way it goes.
You have a lot to look forward to, Triton.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to the Borderlands 3 right away, and then also other things. It just seems like everyone was playing PC. You guys just mentioned PUBG. Like, I don't know, even before I was on my break.
That's the only thing I play on PC.
Late last year, it seemed like the PC movement was happening, so I felt left out. So really glad that this worked out. Great experience. So I mean, this is my only PC buying experience. I'm sure not all are like this, but again, on Air PC, highly recommend. Was awesome.
That's really
Hashtag
cool.
not sponsored.
But awesome experience. Yeah.
Well, no, that's the point. Like, we don't have to say that because we're not sponsored.
Yeah, it definitely, like, hearing Triton talk about it definitely makes me want to call up Ryan and just talk to him through stuff, because I, like, for video editing and stuff, I know I need to upgrade as well.
I mean, you could. I'm sure, like, even if you just called him to, like, figure some shit out, even if you weren't making a purchase right then and there, like, he'd talk you through some shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of not sponsored, I love HelloFresh.
He really does.
I do.
Did you eat it? Never mind. I'm not gonna go down that
You
hole.
are
Okay.
super into it.
we were. Let's just get through. I want to talk more about Hov's HelloFresh experience, but let's get through the TWAB first, and then we can.
Let's talk about Lego's Deep V.
This is not a deep V. This is a normal V. Thank you.
It's not the deepest of V's, like normal. Like
I do like a good deep V, but not this one. So
I'm not real worried
about
how deep my V's
we were
are.
talking about the ViDoc. One thing real quick with the seasons, you mentioned PUBG. One of the things that keeps me hooked on that game, Hov, is, which I know this isn't the thing for you, but you know, Wilson, you talked about people who like seeing the bars go up and like continuing that progression.
Yeah.
For me, I like in PUBG, like continuing my experience progression and getting those battle points to like buy stuff or get crates or whatever. Like that is an appealing like loop for me. And Destiny is kind of adopting that. I know it's different, but it's adopting
not that much different. It's really
not that
the
different.
same.
Yeah. And so I know some people hate that kind of thing, but personally for me, it keeps me playing when I'm progressing towards something. No matter what I'm playing, I'm still making some sort of progress. Sure, I can do stuff to make more progress, but as long as whatever I'm doing is helping, and that will go towards the seasonal progress and towards my artifact growing light level, like that's all really appealing to me as a Destiny player.
And the nice thing with that, I don't remember if we saw this before, like if we talked about it on the podcast, but there is no, I believe this is correct, they clarified there's no like extra purchase for that paid side of the battle pass type of thing. That's
Not
just from having the
Shadowkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. I think in the future they might do it differently, but maybe not. Maybe it's just for like those who don't want Shadowkeep. If they just want to buy the annual pass, you can do that. But if you want
I think it's because of the way that, like, you know how with this new format they're doing, every time new content drops, you get all the zones, you get all the PvP maps, you just don't get like the raid and stuff. So I think, as far as I'm understanding it, you get the free side of that pass no matter what.
Yes.
And the paid side is just if you buy that content. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's even more appealing. Think about how much better that is than a game like PUBG, where there is no, like, literally you're just buying that extra pass, that extra way of earning stuff, a different, like, faster way basically, but there's no extra content. With Destiny, you not only get that extra seasonal, like, premium content, but you also get actual content, not just rewards. You get like a raid, like you were saying, and new quests and that kind of stuff. So I'm so excited to see what a free-to-play Destiny looks like, and I'm excited for everything they showed in this ViDoc. And even though they can't show us how the world is evolving or how it's beginning to evolve this season, but just by their excitement, the developers, I feel excited. Like, yeah, like I'm ready to see the world kind of evolve the way that they're saying it will. And what really got me excited was they showed tanks in that ViDoc in what looked like a public space doing some sort of public event thing. And that is like, I know as soon as D2 came out, that was one of the conversations we had. I was like, tanks, these are awesome. Like, they need to utilize these more, and I thought they were amazing. And if we get those in a public space, that's going to be incredible.
I might
What
hate.
you got against tanks, bro?
I might hate your tanks as much as I hate Pokemon.
Listen,
What's
the
wrong with
guy
tanks?
that's
what's
gonna
wrong
be
with
on
tanks,
the
bro?
moon, being an asshole in the tank, guarantee it's gonna say Hov 76 above it. The guy not shooting the giant shrieker that we saw,
Just running over his teammates.
pushing
Yeah.
people on their sparrows.
I don't
Yeah.
know how I feel about this assumption, this generalization of my
Oh, it's a fact.
my
You're a
team
troll, dude.
gameplay. I am not. We just talked about this in Discord. I don't troll anybody ever.
Except your friends.
I don't have any friends.
Oh, that's the trick. He has no friends.
That's my secret, Lego. I'm always angry.
Oh man. Did any of y'all
That was
have
a
anything?
Hulk reference.
I have a few more things from the ViDoc, but what was there anything that y'all saw that y'all picked up on that was interesting?
You're
Intriguing.
all insufferable.
You're all
That was the greatest line. That's how I feel like Lego feels about us sometimes. When
No,
we go
Lego
out.
definitely
I'm like,
feels like that about me a good bit.
Everyone's like, yo, that's Eris talking to her fire team. I'm like, yo, that's Lego talking to his co-host.
Oh
Like-
my god.
The one thing, and this has been brought up by a bunch of people, so I'm not like taking credit for noticing this, but they said something about
Ding.
yeah, I'm
Ding,
sorry, I
not
don't know how to silence
podcast related.
this. I'm sorry, it's my work phone. God damn it, you got me off track.
They said something about
You're all insufferable.
about
fire
the
team.
future years of building on this, which
I did see that.
like which means that and they said 5-year plan, I think. So there's not gonna be a Destiny 3 presumably for at least 5
Wait,
years.
they said 5-year?
I think
they said
Luke
that?
Smith
Look
said
on the
something about a
whiteboard.
5-year plan.
He did, and then also when like during the ViDoc when they're on like the whiteboard, like you can see like seasons, you know, X, Y, Z, so on and so forth. But then it also says like year 4, 5, 6, 7,
Wow.
8. Like
That's cool.
yeah. So
I really
it's-
like that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't want a fucking Destiny 3, dude. Like, take something that's really good and just make it amazing. You know, like this is what I've wanted is an evolving world. I don't like the Activision, like, cool, Destiny 2's out. Destiny 3, right? Like, gotta have it out before
Yeah.
next year. Like, that's what fucking kills.
Well, to be fair,
titles.
I also don't know. I'm sure Activision had something to do with that, but we talked a lot when that was happening that they needed a fresh start too because of all the negative press that originally was surrounding Destiny. But I saw somebody, I don't remember who it was just somebody on Twitter saying they think that, and tell me what you think about this, I don't even really have an opinion, that they would say that Bungie is now better known for Destiny than they are for Halo.
Well, better known.
That's tough for me to answer, man, because I'm all like,
Because
remember
we're all
the
older.
old school
so-
Halo days and
Yeah,
shit. Just, I'm like
exactly.
looking back, like all those 12 packs of
Huh.
Surge and like. Just
Like
hanging
my
out
kids
playing
would
Halo.
definitely say Destiny. They would
Yeah,
not be
yeah,
as familiar, but like I feel like I would still say Halo.
Like if someone approached me nowadays and had like a Bungie shirt on, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, Destiny. Like, you know, what's up? Like, what do you play? What do you main? You know?" But like, you know, it's hard. Like if I saw somebody walking around with like a Master Chief shirt or some sort of Halo shirt, like I would wonder, like, do they know? Like, is it like supposed to be like old Halo? Because like, don't get me wrong. What is it? Is it 343 that?
Yeah. Microsoft,
They've done a
343
fantastic job,
Studios.
in my opinion. They've done a wonderful job with the game. I do like the
You
way
think?
the direction that the story's gone. I do, yeah.
Because
100%.
I never really followed it, but I thought the consensus seemed to be that they kind of lost their way after a game or two.
I didn't like 5
I
very
think
much.
like it's kind of hard to like pick up the because like Bungie when they made Halo, like the first like 1, 2, and 3 had it was all basically one game telling one story. You know what I mean? Like, and it's really hard to kind of like continue that in a way. So of course they did things like what was it, Reach and ODST and stuff like that. Like they kind of branched out into some other stuff in the
Well,
universe.
Bungie was still Reach.
Bungie was still Reach. That's right. Was it? Did they do ODST?
I think they did
don't think
ODST.
they
think ODST was the last thing
I
they
think
did.
so.
I think.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it would have been what 4 and 5, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right.
I really enjoyed them. I thought the story for those were really cool. But like my point that I was gonna make was, if I saw someone wearing a Halo T-shirt nowadays, I would assume that they would be like representing like the 343 industry version of Halo, unless it was like old and like you know, you could see that it was old, like some of the prints wearing off, and so.
Well, speaking of like you were talking about outside opinion of stuff and what you saw on Twitter. I saw on Twitter just a few minutes ago a ton of our community was out at Bungie today. Did y'all see that? Dado, Bife, Mesa Sean,
I think TV.
TV was there. Okay, yeah, there were just a ton of people, and they couldn't say what they were talking about. Yeah,
I wonder if it's
it was funny. I mean, of course, yeah, but
I wonder if that embargo is going to lift like next week.
You always wonder whenever Bungie got out of Activision, because you're getting out of this money machine that would normally fly people out to like talk about their product or whatever, and now Bungie themselves is doing this. And it's just cool to see them keep it up and knowing who to bring in and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I like seeing the community involved.
Oh no, I agree with you.
The community knows. That's all I wanted to point
It's
out.
just funny, like we can't tell you what we're seeing. Like, I know you can't go in depth, but like it's Shadowkeep.
Well,
and
exactly,
and like Andrew, next week you're gonna be able to talk about it.
Andrew Hoops was kind of messing with Dado about it because Dado tweeted out like, I was at Bungie, I felt, and it was very. And that was it. Like, that was the tweet, and Hoops retweeted it and was like, oh, was it? And Dad was like, I cannot speak about this. He's like, good job, you passed.
I just want to say, in light of talking about our wonderful lineup of guests, that Triton, feel free to look. We have a really good, diverse group of guests put together. One person that I haven't been able to get a hold of that is probably this sounds a little fanboy-ish. It's not how it's meant to be, but like my dream guest, like the one person I really want to get on,
I'm curious,
is Dado. I would absolutely, if I could pick any person in the community to have on, it'd be Dado.
Wow. Hear that? I'm gonna clip this and send it to Dado. See what he says.
He's not gonna pay attention to it. I've tried talking to Dado. I can't get a hold of him.
Let's call him up.
The only way I've ever thought that I could definitely get a hold of him would be to call in a favor from some other friends.
Yes,
but they happen to be on a really awful competing podcast.
Yeah, man.
And I don't want to. I would never hear the end of it.
You don't want to stoop that low.
I would never hear if we talked. If I had to ask Pope to get a hold of it, I would never hear the end of it ever.
No, ever. No, you wouldn't. Well, with the ViDoc, I don't want to talk about some other podcasts on here. So with the ViDoc, there was something else. Oh, you mentioned the seasons. In the way it's changing and stuff. I love the way, and I don't know if they said it in particular with this ViDoc or if it was a different one, but they mentioned how we're going to like start a conflict and it kind of resolves, and that activity, like some activities may end because we have solved the Vex invasion was in particular what it was talking about. And I just like the way that it will wrap up in a season and we move on. And if you were there for that, that's awesome. And if you weren't, that's fine, And
technically speaking, that is why what the fuck is going that technically speaking,
everybody's leaving.
that is their way of continuing to build on Destiny 2 as a foundation as opposed to making Destiny 3, because they can't just continue to add shit. So they're going to have things that when it is resolved, it is going to disappear.
Because look how big the game is right now. It's like 150 gigs or something. I don't know. I'm making a number up, but it's over 100. Like, it's a lot.
It's like
over 9,000.
It's like it's like a 12-incher. Can't even handle it.
Didn't y'all talk about that last week?
Yeah,
11-inchers?
Yeah, I think so. That also reminds me.
I paid attention.
If they announced, and of course people are getting mad, that right now the season pass that came with Forsaken, or not came with Forsaken, but the Forsaken season pass that included Season of the Drifter and Season of Opulence and all that is now free with Forsaken. So if you have Forsaken, you have the season pass.
That was cool.
So for anyone who's trying to catch up or anything, there you go.
There was another one thing that surprised me about the ViDoc, and this is where I I'm like I don't want to look at anything else until it comes out, but I have to because we're on a podcast kind of thing. Is they showed off a lot of the dungeon in this ViDoc, which I did not expect, and I didn't really want. Like,
I don't care. It was
you
cool.
don't care?
No.
You're excited anyway?
Yeah, that was like one room that they showed.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more than that.
Imagine like looking at Shattered Throne.
True.
And seeing the ogre room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I don't even think, well, no, I guess they showed 2 rooms. I'm sorry. They did. There was I don't want to say it in case people don't. Maybe we saw the boss or a boss.
Yeah. Yeah, that night,
that
fiery night thing.
Yeah, then we saw like a platform area.
And
you know
that looked really cool.
Like I said when they announced it, I'm at that point where they already went past where I would have preferred they went. I liked that the dungeon was a complete surprise the first time when no one knew. So if they already told us about it, unless they do a whole damn walkthrough, a little tease of it is whatever. We already know it's coming.
Dungeon, dude. I can't wait. I love the dungeons.
I realized as you were talking about it, Wilson, that I got mixed up in my head right now with the terminology. Dungeon is, like you said, Shattered Throne. I was thinking in my head of like 0 hour. What's the terminology for that mission? That's like the hidden. It's called something different. It's not. It's like a whisper. Is a whisper, and 0 hour is a blank.
Did it have a specific
Shattered
name?
Throne. Yes, it's called. Someone in chat, help me out. I can't remember what they called it. But that kind of mission is the more secretive one. And so I guess in terms of Shattered Throne being a dungeon and them showing off like one room and a boss, like that's fine. Like you said, it's like such a minuscule amount of it's gonna be massive. We know. So you're right. That's not that much. Now that I see it in that context, I was thinking in my head more like a 0 hour mission. So that makes sense. I just realized Triton probably doesn't even know what 0 hour is, and it's like it's one of the funnest activities in all of Destiny 2, in my opinion. Listen, I think it's incredible.
Listen, when you get your PC set up and you get all migrated over,
don't let Wilson take you through it.
Yes. No. Let me and Lego take you through it.
No.
Yes. No, listen, your first time through, you need to have no clue what's going on. You need to have no help from your friends.
But here's the thing.
Let me and Lego run through, and then like we'll finish it before you get to the end, but you're gonna have to do it again anyway. So then you'll be a little bit more familiar. This is how it's happened with everyone I've done it through. We leave everyone in the dust. They're experiencing everything on their own. We finish it early, which kind of sucks, but then we have to run it again for the catalyst.
Yeah,
and by
like
then,
Whisper. That was how I finished Whisper the first time.
But then the second time they're keeping up with us.
That's not how this happened
every single time.
It's
because you never went in with me a second time. It was a bad first date, dude. You were out.
The first time I was running the Trevor room and I was saying, hey, what does this switch do? How do I do this? And you guys completely fucking lied to me and told me the wrong way to do it. So the next time I went in trying to walk Dewey through it, and I was like, hey, we have to do this and this, and then nothing happened. And he was like, I thought you knew how to do this. I was like, so did I. I was so mad at you and Spiffy.
Hov thought he was the big bad Sherpa.
I was just trying to help a friend.
Do this.
Oh my god.
That's the greatest thing though, dude. You need to experience like the surprise of everything, like the pitfalls.
There's a difference between going in blind and being told, hey, here's these things, do this and this is what'll happen, and then you go to do it and nothing happens.
And look how long this has echoed in eternity. Sometimes you gotta crack a few eggs to make a motherfucking omelet.
It burns at my soul.
Wow, burns
not at Rivers Casino. You don't have to crack a couple eggs. They have Tom's omelet world at the buffet, and he fucking kills it.
Wow.
So do we think?
I've never been there for their buffet.
It's bomb.
Do we think this is gonna be? Obviously, it's gonna be a recurring theme that they're gonna have these hidden missions. But do you think it's going to be a theme that they're gonna be bringing back popular D1 weapons this way, like D1 exotics? I mean, we've only had like what, 2? Whisper and Outbreak. Was there another secret one that I'm forgetting about?
I just think that's happenstance that it happened to be old weapons that they brought back. I think it'll just be whatever they feel like is right at the time.
I think it'd be a good way to bring back like the iconic ones though.
It would.
I mean? Like
like if they brought back a Fatebringer exotic or something.
I could see. I agree with both of you, because I think it just has happened that way and could or could not continue to happen that way. But I also think it is a good way because they like everything to fit into their story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for a random weapon or an old weapon to show up just as a random drop doesn't make any sense lore-wise, but this like, hey, let's go back and get Outbreak perfected and we have to do all this shit. Like, it made sense to bring that weapon back that way. Do you know what I mean?
True.
So I could see either it going either way. I don't think they have to, and I don't think it's been on purpose, but I think it works well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a good way to bring back the swords, like, you know what I mean? Like,
ooh, Arc. What was the Arc one?
But then, like,
Boltcaster.
Boltcaster, dude. I love that
one.
thing.
I liked fucking Raze Lighter, dude. That thing, that single target DPS.
Listen, they should have called the Void one should have been the one that threw the fucking shit, and they should have called it Purple Rain.
Black Talon. Yeah.
Well, no, I meant Boltcaster should have been Void, but Black Talon would work too.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Wilson, you like the look of the dungeon? You think you could?
Yeah, totally. Back on track. Current dungeon. Yeah, the aesthetic looked amazing. The traps looked cool. The big spinning cylinders with all the spikes on them looked really menacing. They had all the hive runes on them, spikes and things that look like they'll just instantly destroy you. That should be fun. Looks like I'll have a hell of a time going in there. There's, jumping puzzles are always kind of rough for me the first time through, and then I kind of pick them up, and then for whatever reason, they become hard again. Like, we went back. I did the Whisper dungeon the past 3 weeks because of the burns, so you can get the ship.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
The big fatty.
Yeah, the big or not the big fatty, not the one for Outbreak,
is not nice.
But it's the Taken one.
Right, the Taken one. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous ship, dude.
It's amazing looking.
It's so gorgeous, especially on PC. The fidelity, it's so nice.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I'm excited to die a lot in pitfalls with my friends and my fire.
It looks like King's Fall, kind of like the wall.
It's got a Dreadnought-esque feel to it.
Speaking of King's Fall, it might have even been a couple weeks ago now, but do you remember within this month, obviously, they it was the 4-year anniversary of King's Fall coming out. 4 years.
I wondered.
It's been 4 years.
Wow, 4 years.
I wondered why I saw a bunch of people running that raid again recently. I've been seeing a lot of clips resurface.
I don't want to run
like that raid. Why not?
A lot of good lore that could connect with Shadowkeep.
I have to run the last 3 raids. I never did that.
We need to run them. Yeah, we say that like every week.
And I sit there at the screen waiting for people.
I did the new one, Lego.
Yeah, I heard.
Gronosauro. It's easy,
awesome.
dude. Well, I mean, when you got...
Well, it's easy now.
Well, yeah, it's easy now, exactly. But you should definitely get in there before the next season. It's totally worth it.
I've done the whole thing twice up to the boss, but just hadn't beat the boss yet. But it's a fun raid. I love it. Like, I've done all the mechanics for every part.
Nice. Yeah, it's a great raid. Sorry,
what do you think, Twop
the last thing I was going to say about this video is they showed off the rune table for making guns, which we hadn't seen yet, which I thought was pretty cool because we've had versions of like even in the worst version, we've seen everything from the worst version to Curse of Osiris, where it was like, forge your weapon, and is literally like, go run 10 strikes. Here's your weapon, and it was like, okay, this is not forging anything. Now it's like, it sounds like you actually go and gather these parts, and if you didn't get the roll you want, you can customize this rune to make the weapon that you're actually looking for, which is awesome. I think that's so cool and really gives into the RPG feels of what we're looking for Destiny 2. And like we were talking about with stats earlier, and I made the Pokemon reference, this is just one more way to like, get your stuff exactly the way you want it by grinding the game in other ways, getting the material, putting in the time, and then getting the weapon exactly that you want, or the armor exactly you want. It's really exciting. I think it all looks great. I'm excited to see what it plays like. The rune table in particularly, I don't know why I said that so long, but it reminded me of, did y'all ever play Dead Space, where you get like materials and you go to the table and like make your gun and change the way it is and stuff. It kind of reminded me of that, even though I know it's going to be nothing like that. Just that's the vibes that it gave.
You've never played Dead Space? Do you like scary games? Like,
I mean,
okay,
I don't
like
or mind trippy games.
Hear me out. Like it's like a third person shooter. And it does have a few like jump scares in it, but like
not really.
Most of the like fear in the game is set on by like the environment and like what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish at the time with all this like crazy weird like it's like aliens morphing with humans. It's like a biogenetic experiment type thing, and it's Resident Evil meets space.
I have a hard time being scared.
But it's not like scared, like holy shit, I gotta turn this game. It's like anxiety, like the game gives you anxiety.
Yeah,
it's what I hope that Shadowkeep does. Like I hope that I get a little hint. I know it's not gonna be that, but I hope I get like a little hint of that with Shadowkeep, where it's like, because they even mentioned like that when you're playing this, they kind of want to mess with you a little bit when you're on the moon. That like with these haunted things, and that was the last thing I was gonna say about the ViDoc is. The way that those floaty haunty boys are just kind of shadowy things they're floating around, like the even remnants. Going through Crota, like there's that room where you run across the bridge or whatever, and they're just like floating on the side and they're just hanging out with you as you walk through the levels. I feel like they're gonna freak me out the way that, you know, in PUBG, Hov, whenever you walk into one of those rooms and that doll thing's sitting in the corner when you're looking for loot, it freaks you out every time. I feel like that's what
there's like baby dolls and mannequins in some of the buildings now, Wilson.
It's freaky.
You're muted. You're muted.
Again.
Your shit.
Something must be setting it off that he doesn't know is set up for it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the ViDoc. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to add about it?
No, I think it's thoroughly covered.
Well, then, until Wilson gets his audio back, I was just gonna say with the TWAB, there's not much there, but they talk about the raid race at the very beginning there, and they talk about the 2 emblems and show them off that you're gonna get for completing it within 24 hours with the contest mode active, or at any time if you complete it. You'll get the other emblem, and the only thing I wanted to say about it, the first 24-hour emblem looks like the Black Garden, I think, kind of, but the second emblem, doesn't it look a lot like the relic from Atheon's raid?
The
Vault of Glass.
Aegis?
Yeah, Aegis? Shield of yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Doesn't it kind of look like that?
I forget what it looks. I had something in my mind, and I don't remember what it is. I have lots of lost things in my mind. My mind is a terrible place.
So Wilson is gone now.
So we're all bigger.
Triton, what did you see what I'm talking about though? Do you see the TWAB? In the TWAB it shows that the emblem. Doesn't it kind of look like the shield?
I mean, I just looked at them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
I guess.
Are you talking about the green one?
No. The green one looks like Black Garden to me. The blue one, the little emblem on it, it looks like the shield from the relic from Vault of Glass.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. It was giving me Major Vexy vibes.
I just gotta say that the emblems that they're putting out are tier 1 recently. Yeah. They're very cool.
Very cool. Other than that, though, with the TWAB, they talk about, you know, some fixes that are happening. They talked about the Forsaken stuff that Hov mentioned that all players are going to be getting. And also just a warning to PC players in particular, when Shadowkeep drops October 1st, that Forsaken, for some reason, licensing doesn't move over right away, and it might take time for you to get that to your Shadowkeep.
Can we go back to the raid real quick? There was something I wanted to...
But yes. Yeah, for sure.
So
let's do it.
I know this was listed as an example, but they're talking about contest being active.
Yeah.
And they say, you know, power beyond certain levels will provide no additional advantage for a given fight. E.g., for the first fight, power above 890 doesn't provide an advantage. For the final fight, power above 920 doesn't provide an advantage. Do you think those are real numbers?
They probably.
Because that means it's 140 increase in 3 days.
That's pretty
days.
crazy.
Didn't we get numbers before the last raid though too?
No, I mean I'm just saying, isn't that a really big jump?
Amount. Yeah.
140.
I mean, it's the big like fall-esque expansion release that we normally get. You know what I mean? So it's always a big jump.
Yeah.
But and while that is true, we also have to remember that the cap wasn't like 960, 950, something like that gear stopped dropping at.
Well,
so
then I guess that
doesn't
doesn't make
too,
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seems like a big number to me. I'm scared.
Yeah,
of big
in
numbers.
context,
Cool.
I think it makes sense, but it is a big number. I think you're right.
Yeah, not a
that is a
complaint.
big number.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Cool, and I love they're doing contest mode. Y'all kind of covered the raid last week about how they've kind of perfected their timing of everything. I think it's really great. I have nothing really to add about it. I'm just excited to hear minimal complaining. I know we'll still hear complaining, but it'd be hard for me to see like what people would have a problem with at this point, unless it was just like too hard of a grind.
I work Saturdays. That's what it's gonna be.
Bro, I have weekdays off and I work weekends. I shouldn't say that. There's probably actually a lot of people that do that, but
also the belts. They talk about the belts again, which I do want to point out are so badass. Like
They're
having
awesome.
seen and held one in person, they weigh like 15 pounds. They're metal.
That's awesome.
They're not like little bullshit fucking belts. Like we ran. I know we talked about this months ago, but when we first got to Guardian Con this year, we ran into Watts, not Miss 5,000 Watts. Watts from why am I blanking? Math class, right?
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah, and he was. First of all, Claw knows him because Claw knows everybody. So he was talking to him, and he was the nicest dude. He was like, "You want to hold it? Here." And it was just this huge, heavy, and that was still so badass to go back like 5 years later and be given the very first belt. Like you were the first ones to ever beat one. That had to have been the coolest thing ever.
That's pretty crazy.
I love that it's got like the raid logo in the middle, and then like the little Bungie logo under it. And on this one on the sides, it says 2019, and it's got like a little Vex head.
Yeah.
And then it's got the 6 like guardian ships all flying in the like V formation and stuff. It's pretty sweet, dude. Like there's not many games out there that are like, yo, first people to beat this content, you get a dope belt.
I've never heard of that for a game. It's awesome. It's so cool.
I'm sure it's been done before.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like, it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know. I just thought that's really
They're
cool.
amazing. The good belts.
Yeah, and like Hov said, they're really heavy. Like it's a championship belt.
They're legit.
Yes.
Well, from what I
WWE.
understand, the same company that makes them for the WWE made them for Bungie.
Oh man.
Oh, seriously?
We should get
Dang.
some made.
Yes.
Just for RezoCast.
For the RezoCast belt.
We'll just wear them. We'll no longer broadcast here. We'll just stand and broadcast our belts. They'll all be different so everyone knows whose belt is whose.
My gosh.
Then we could just like Photoshop heads in later or you know, have like the conversation within it. That we'd all have our own championship belts, our own title. You could think of your own title.
Do you know what else we should do? We should have
What?
little graphics that say like who we are in the corners for the people who show up and
Oh,
don't know
that's
who
a
we
good
are.
idea. Someone should work on that. Someone who knows graphic design and like has access. Yeah, someone should totally do that.
I wish I
me.
did.
We're actually Sam and I decided today that Wilson and I are starting our own podcast.
Is it the food one?
No, it's a
What were we
religious.
gonna call
It's
that?
a religious
Trash
podcast.
mobs.
Trash mobs.
Trash
Thank
mobs,
you,
yeah.
dude. I've been trying to think about that all
I
week,
think
and
it should
was
just be
like,
called.
I...
I think it should just be called the Trash Mob. Like we are the Trash Mob.
That's cool.
But no,
I like
we were playing Overwatch today in a comp game, and Sam and I were talking as the
boy.
game was starting about something about are you gonna play again before the podcast? And somebody was like, "Do you guys like have a podcast, or are you just listening to a podcast?" And Sam was like, "Oh no, Hov and my boyfriend, and they're on this podcast. It's called RezoCast. It's a Destiny podcast." And this other dude was like, "It's a what podcast? What the hell is that?" And she was like, "Destiny? You never played Destiny before?" And he was like, "Oh, like the game. I thought you guys were talking about like some religious shit." And Sam was like, "Well, clearly he doesn't know you and Wilson very well if he thought you were on a religion-based podcast."
That's
Oh,
funny.
man.
We'll talk all things religion. No.
It was like conspiracy, like a conspiracy religion, maybe.
Don't even get me started, Lego.
I'm kind of surprised you're not a I'm kind of surprised you're not a Scientologist, to be honest.
Dude, that shit is fucking crazy, man. All right.
So is some of the shit you talk about.
No, dude,
No,
it's
the
totally
opposite.
Yeah, no. All right, I don't talk about alien souls
We had
and
a
shit
serious
flying out of volcanoes,
we had a
and you gotta
serious
measure
conversation in Discord
pretty
about
close.
you possibly
you
being
need
an
to measure
alien.
Your thetan levels
We-
and all
we
this
discussed-
bullshit. Get out of here.
We discussed that you may be an alien today in Discord.
when you have to hire actors to promote your religion, you know it's bullshit.
I feel
Just
like
saying.
everybody who promotes
We're gonna
anything.
get banned from some.
From Scientology's gonna come.
Yeah,
after us.
Tom
Look,
Cruise is freaking gonna come after us.
Look, Tom Cruise, I know you got the skills. Mission Impossible, my friends here don't have an issue with you. There.
You know, I hear besides the
Come
whole
after me now.
Scientology thing, I hear a lot of good things. God, I'm dying.
Tom Cruise.
They got me,
right
Tom.
now. He's been
I was just
poisoned.
gonna say, I hear a lot of good things about Tom Cruise. He's supposed to be a very nice guy.
Yeah, I don't have anything against him. It's
just weird.
He might have just
it's
poisoned
a weird
me.
thing, man.
He did. I'm sure of it. Okay, well that's pretty much it for the. Do y'all have anything? I don't. You know, we can move on to some community questions and just have a good old time here. I don't think. You know, the fixes I mentioned, they're like that bug that's been going on forever of
That
you
they
try
said
to
they
delete
fixed?
something, the bar goes all the way, and they said they fixed it, but it's still there sometimes. They're like really fixing it. And what's funny about all that is it's actually like a safety thing to make sure you don't delete something that you don't want to.
Is that
but
really
yeah.
what that is?
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's it's malfunctioning. It's not supposed to like not let you do it completely, but the safety check is like preventing you. Like it is being too safe, basically.
Okay, real talk. Do you guys lock your weapons?
Yes.
In your armor?
Yes.
Hov?
Sometimes. It depends though, because of collections and just the way things like.
Yeah.
A lot of times I
True.
don't lock my exotics because I'll just pull out a higher one without.
No,
it.
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good
Gosh,
answer.
I love collections. Remember when Destiny didn't have that?
I
I
Yes.
can't even imagine Destiny without like Destiny item manager, like having to go
Right?
back and forth. Dude, that'd be
20 vault space.
Yeah. Oh
that was a
man,
thing.
That was a thing.
That was a thing.
that happened.
Man, we've come a long way, boys.
Yeah, we really have.
in
And it was fun back
151
then. And we
episodes.
complained about, 500 vault space now, but yeah. Anyways, community questions?
Perfect.
Lock your weapons, boys and girls. Lock your
Um,
weapons.
Atlas asks, and I haven't read these. Well, I read one of them. I just want to
Yeah,
say,
we did read one.
yeah, I had to veto a question today because it would have been inappropriate.
Wow.
Me.
Wow.
You know who
was
you
it
are.
Atlas who asked it?
No.
Oh, okay. Who? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some digging after this.
Atlas says, you're a secret agent tasked with stealing the greatest jewel ever created. One of
Jeez.
your fellow
Tom
podcast
Cruise.
hosts is the one who has the item. Whatever way you choose to steal it is no concern, so how do you do it? Espionage, seduction, misdirection, murder?
Easy.
Seduction.
Easy.
Yep.
Seduction.
Hov, I just hire a couple girls over to his house,
Oh,
get him a couple
wow.
bottles of wine. He's in bed by 10:30.
And I'd probably already have showed them, like, check this out. Yeah.
Yo, girl.
But I don't know.
The-
I think you have to steal it.
Yeah.
You're
no,
the
I'll go
secret
ahead.
agent.
No, for sure. I just hire the ladies to distract you, and I'll sneak in all
Well, I feel a
Mission
little.
Impossible style.
I feel a little better about that because honestly, I wouldn't have argued too much if you would have been like, I'd come over and I'd be like, yo, Hov, let me check that thing out. Can I borrow that and like show it off? And I'd be like, yeah, man, for sure. And I would just give it to you.
That's true. We got it like that. Especially since I let you wear my that big glass pendant that night at
Mhm.
Guardian Con.
Mm-hmm.
Look good
When
on
I-
you, man.
When I danced around and never mind.
Yeah, that was. Oh my god.
That sounds
I-
that sounded way worse than that. Forget it. Just go ahead.
Yeah. Let's
I would do
Wait,
espionage, I think, just because I'm so like, I feel like once I like get on something, I will like research the heck out of it. I feel like maybe Triton would be this way too. I don't know, but I feel like I would really like do my research on like trying to figure out like I'm trying to figure out which one of you I would do. Probably Wilson, because I feel like he's probably like pretty routine with like going to work, come back home, getting as high as possible, you know, and I feel like I would have it down, you know, and do my research, figure out his schedule, figure out when I could get in, get the thing.
You should do.
And he'd be pretty chill if I got caught too. Like it wouldn't be like a big deal. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, man,
Lego, what are you doing here, man?"
Oh, nothing. I'm just grabbing this thing real quick. Oh, that's cool.
Are you coming to hang out, dude? I got some nachos.
I'll say Sam made food. You want some, man?
Sam made food.
I literally have nachos right now.
Or if Sam didn't make food, hey Sam, Lego's here. Like, why don't we make some like tacos or something?
Yo, put on some Jiffy Pop and we'll play Destiny.
Yeah. And then I'll just leave with it.
Lego, you want to smoke some weed?
No, do you?
I mean, it's almost legal there.
We're getting there.
Ooh, that brings up a really quick question for you, Lego. If weed was legal, would you smoke it?
I don't think this is a community question. I think this is a Hov question.
Am I not part of the community? Do you want me to get someone in the community to ask it?
No, I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I mean, not that I like wouldn't ever. I just that I wouldn't regularly. I don't think because my mind is so spacey as it is.
But maybe
like,
that'll
I literally
help.
Start. Maybe like it's true.
Seriously.
So it's a possibility for that reason.
We'll try it out. We'll go visit Wilson one day.
I feel right now.
me,
I literally just started taking medication this year for helping me focus more. So I don't know if it helped with that for sure. You know, but
We really might.
It definitely makes you more considerate, more aware.
Doesn't
more
work on you apparently.
Open to possibilities.
Some
Some people call that
dangerous.
paranoid. Some people call that paranoid.
If I'm best friends with Hov and it's making me more open,
Did
to
Lego just say we're
possibilities-
best friends?
Yeah, I was about to say like Lego.
Did
your
Lego
best
just say
friend
we're
is
best
Hov?
friends?
Your best friend's Hove.
Oh man.
Aw.
What'd I say?
No.
The truth just came out. Dang it.
Hold the phone. I dropped a nacho and I scooted my chair back to find it and I
Did you
ran
roll
over
over?
your chip, dude? Oh, fuck, man.
Did it have cheese on it?
Triton, what was yours? What would
I
you
prefer
do?
to not answer.
I think I was gonna do like this is use Hove with hookers or something. That was like pretty the first one.
Listen.
So me and
Why do you
Triton
No,
would do it
you
together.
said girls.
Ah.
He said hookers, which is an inappropriate term for working ladies. They're just doing a job.
I mean, I could have said strippers or something. I mean, it would have just been something I would have probably had to pay to procure their service, and then
I fucking hate you.
So technical.
it had to have been something
Wait,
of that.
were
effect,
all of
so-
you? Oh no, Wilson was stealing it off, or Lego was stealing
what
off
was
Wilson.
yours?
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
Legos
just gonna
was stealing off
seduce
Wilson.
any of you,
Oh.
all of you. I won't even know who has it. I'll just bring. I'm not saying it's like not necessarily a sexual seduction. I'm just gonna bring Wilson some food. I'll bring Triton some fucking analysis of something, and I'll just get him talking about numbers and shit.
We're
And
very
then-
close
and
to
then
that
he'll
other
give me a-
question.
Which other
You
question?
hope you do have a lot of charisma. I think you've got some potential there.
Do you think I should be a secret agent?
I don't know if I go that.
I
like,
think I'd
that's
be
a
a-
little bit
I
more
think
than
I'd be-
just charisma.
I think I'd
that
be
sounds
a-
like a politician.
But
and
listen.
given your face aging picture, I think you have potential there
Let's
too.
think about this for a second. All right.
I think I'd be
He's
a
good-
badass
hold on.
secret agent.
No, I'm in your corner here, Hov. If
All right.
if you'll allow me.
Yeah.
He's into good cars. He looks good in a suit.
Okay.
He
I need to
likes
lose a little
you know,
weight.
he likes his fancy drinks here and there. I'm not saying he's an alcoholic.
True.
I'm just saying when he does get a drink, it's no bullshit. It's not.
And he
a
knows
crap-
the names.
It's not craptastic, So, let's see. Cars, booze, definitely the women. Looks good in a suit. If
He's
you
got
could
it.
shoot a gun, dude, that's like you've already got 4 out of 5, dude.
Yeah.
This is the best episode of RezoCast ever.
I'm totally gonna eat this chip that fell on the floor.
He's a spy. He's my best friend.
Lego, you can tell everyone you're best friends with a spy.
Oh man,
this is the best episode of all
what's
time.
The next question.
Oh my god, this is great. Next question is also from Atlas. What is the thing your parent or parents used to do that just irked the hell out of you growing up? Mine was being woken up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday to clean. I will tell you.
I want to go off that. Wait. I want to go off that because my dad's was he would come into my room in the morning, like on a school morning, and he would start singing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like really softly, like as you're trying to wake up.
This explains a lot, actually.
Off me. Oh my God. Like it was the most annoying song. And if I ever hear it now, I just want to crush something. Like it's so annoying.
Day in the neighborhood.
Don't Hov.
You know Mr. Rogers is
Not
from
my best
Pittsburgh,
friend anymore.
right? There's a statue of him downtown, like 10 minutes from me.
Wow.
It's a true story. Mine, there's probably a lot, but for some reason, I always remember this. There was a time that I got into like a huge fight with my mom over not having my closet door closed. She had this thing about like your closet door had to be closed because of heat and air conditioning. And one day I left it. I was like, I don't care. I'm not going upstairs to close my door. It'll be fine. And she freaked the fuck out.
Wow.
I was like a kid, but
do you close your closet door now?
Out of spite.
He's like, yeah.
No,
never
I just
closed it ever again.
I just never did. Like, I don't know. It doesn't need to be closed.
I don't really know anything that my parents did that really like. Dude, my parents were cool as hell, dude. I guess one thing that like was embarrassing was like anytime that I would have like my girlfriend at the time over for the first time, my mom would always bust out like the photo album.
That's just a parent thing, I feel like.
But no, she would legit do it to embarrass me. It was because, look at how cute my son was. She would find the most embarrassing pictures.
Like pictures of you like naked as a baby. Like
no, not like naked as like 4 days ago or something. I'm kidding. No, like Halloween dressing up as a girl, or like I dressed up as a girl when I was like 12, 13 for Halloween one time. And just embarrassing photos. Or when I was like 10 years old and like my sister, who was like 5 years older than me, like just kicked my ass and I was crying, and like my dad, just to make fun of me, would like take a picture of me while I was crying or something. Like that's the type of shit in my family photo album, dude.
I want to see it.
There's a great family.
I want to see the photo album now.
I turned out kick ass. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Triton?
But no, my parents were sweethearts. They were great. They didn't really do anything that like pissed me off, to be honest. I always pissed them off. You should ask them what I did.
Bring them on.
Dude.
Yeah, bring them on the show.
Mama Wilson's down.
We should have we should do that.
That would be fun. It's like a bring your parents to school like sort of episode.
We can't bring my dad. TOS. TOS, dude.
It's my channel. Don't worry about it,
bro. You might want to have a sit down with my dad first.
It's fine. No, I'd like to see it live. Triton.
We used to go to like all these like home and garden shows, and like not all the time, but they would be once a year, and we would have to go, and it was awful. I hated it growing up. So I mean, they were pretty bad. Like it would be like Monroeville. You'd be out there for like the whole day looking at like, oh, maybe we should replant this grass or gutters or things that like as a like even teenager or 10-year-old, I hate. So yeah, I think every year I would like dread when that would happen. And there was never cool like food stands or anything there. It was just a terrible experience all the way around. All the way around terrible.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
No.
Gorgyak asks, which DCP host would you like to befriend?
Oh.
Which is funny because we're already friends with all of them. And have as a regularly appearing once a month guest on RezoCast and why. Easy answer. Briar. I love all those guys, but Briar is the fucking man, and I would have him on this show every day if that was a possibility.
Briar is like the missing piece to me and Hov's, like, what is that word I'm looking for? Like
threesome.
Centripeta?
Menage a trois.
That works too. I was thinking like a fancy word, like centripeta. Centripetal? No, it's not
no,
centripeta.
No.
Yeah, he's the missing piece to the Triforce.
I love him.
He's just a big goon. Like,
yeah, I would probably say the same thing.
He's just a big goofy goon like me and Hov. I did a podcast for a while with Briar called Revolver, where we literally just talked about anything, and it was a great show because the topics, it was never set. You know what I mean? Like, we never had one set topic, so it was just a podcast of going off the rails, like how when me and Hov get to go in sometimes. It was just an entire podcast of that.
I don't remember where it was, if it was at Guardian Con in person, or if it was just playing or talking one time, or maybe when he was on. But I distinctly remember telling Briar one time that I think it was after, Revolver had disbanded. We told him if his other second-rate podcast ever falls apart, we always have a spot for him if he'd like to keep podcasting. Now that he's in the clan.
Yeah, dude. And like,
and in all seriousness, I love the rest of them too. Like, if Briar was off the table, I would take any of them. Like, they're all great people, but Briar's the fucking man.
I've had the chance. Holtzman is the only one that, like, I've only met maybe like a couple times or got to play with a few times. But Tefty, California, laid back attitude, like Watts, super chill, Briar, of course, and then Pope.
And Fran was super fucking nice to us at Guardian Con when we met him, Wilson, remember?
Fran, yeah.
He followed the channel right in front of us, like, oh yeah, what channel do you guys broadcast on? I'll follow you right now, and did it in front of us.
All those guys were really
nice
nice too. Yeah, very genuine conversations that evening. That's when we went to that bar across the street, and we were playing bags indoors, and it was super crowded, and we're like, dude, let's just get out of here. And like, all of us and Briar went across the street, and we were the only people in this other bar. It went from asses and elbows to like a wide open.
But then it turned into, we got everyone from Rezo over there, and it became our own little Rezo meetup. And that's when we started talking to Baclaw about getting Briar in. Anyway.
Yeah, it was
with the, like, I think I would ultimately say Briar too, because of like just the camaraderie that y'all already, and because of also on top of that, I feel like he presents, whenever he talks, like a super balanced opinion about different things. Like, he thinks about, I know that Pope's job on the podcast too, but whenever, like, there's a lot of times where everybody else is thinking one way on that podcast, and Briar is thinking the other way, and it's like he's like, he'll be alone.
He literally tells them to go fuck themselves because they're wrong.
Yeah. But a lot of times it's my thought, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the only guy. I feel like I'm the only one who feels that way. But then Briar brings it up, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But in all seriousness, I love the other people, like Hov was saying, and Tefty would be like a tough contender for me, with Fran too, because whenever we were at GCX, I guess it's called now, but we were all in Florida, and we were just hanging out on that rooftop bar, and like Tefty like had like a circle of us around him, and we were just going back and forth on just different random Destiny like centric ideas that weren't even really relative to the current state of the game or anything like that, but just like, I feel like he's just a guy who can dissect anything that's going on.
He also holds an audience better than almost anybody I've ever met. Standing there, like, he was very, very good at that. It was actually kind of incredible to watch in person.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough slobbering all over those jokers.
Yeah.
Triton.
Oh, is my pick for that? I've only ever really interacted with Pope Bear in game, and then when Briar was a guest. So it'd be, I would probably have to pick from those two, and it's fairness, just because they're the only interaction. Yeah. But I think everyone, anytime I've ever listened to them, or anytime I've dealt with the two that I have, has been great. So I think anyone would be a good addition.
I hate your answers.
Okay.
Okay.
I said I would seduce you with like hookers or like.
Yeah, you also said hookers.
Well, I said someone that would just have to procure their service. It didn't have to be a hooker. It could just be like a random person that we saw at the mall.
It's the fact that you're using the term hooker.
You're not going to win this argument with...
All right, well.
Last question. A non-pig asks, oh no,
oh god,
you're all trapped in another horror movie alongside Lego. This time it's, quote, I now pronounce you blank and blank. Chuck and Larry, the Sandler and James movie. Who on the podcast are you marrying to get health insurance? I guess.
Huh.
I guess Triton, because I feel like he probably. That's like
Pick
his
the
thing.
best
I'm
health
sure.
insurance.
Yeah, Triton. Like, listen,
yeah.
Triton got a fucking spreadsheet from all the health insurance companies. He sat up all night, crunched the numbers, figured it out. I feel like he's gonna have the best plan.
I will
I'm
say.
gonna work my magic.
Well, I'll let you. I'll give your answers first, and then I'm gonna throw you a tidbit here.
I think you're right. I think it's Triton.
I mean, it's Triton. Yeah, hands down.
Just so you know, I work for the government.
It didn't matter. Triton.
All right, I'm just saying.
Actually, my answer was going to be anyone that was unionized or government. Well, because one of the things with health insurance and one of the reasons why we need healthcare reform, because one of the drivers why it's so heavy is because that you actually can't usually select between like labs that you get your results to, or it has to be an in-network doctor. So you're just paying copay, but really the insurance company's just paying all those things. But if you could pick those things and actually price shop around like you can for electronics or whatever, we probably would pay less for healthcare overall. But do I have a good insurance policy? Yes, but if someone's unionized or works for the government, it's probably actually a little bit better. But we also, again, we could talk about some other things for healthcare reform, because I thought
what's your answer?
Well, it's probably gonna be Hov.
I ain't marrying someone who works for the man.
I can or Wilson. I can cook too.
He's a strong contender. Strong contender.
That's all I got. That was the last question.
Well then, that was Hov's favorite episode.
That was the best episode ever.
You guys did let me talk about healthcare reform for like 47.
That's the outro, Triton.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I feel like I learned something though. We should let him do that more often.
For sure. Yeah.
No, we shouldn't.
Well, did y'all have anything else you want to close it down? We did most of our, I didn't mention Discord, of course. At the beginning, we should have mentioned that. But we have a Discord now. If you're not in it, if you're listening on iTunes and you're like, I want to connect with some people who listen to RezoCast and talk about, Shadowkeep when it comes out, or jump in LFG with people. We have a Discord going. It's on all the links on Twitter, on YouTube, even in the podcast description, wherever you're listening to this, you can find a link to the Discord. Hop in, introduce yourself, ask some community questions for the show, and let's hang out. You can make fun of my
Lego.
Horror movies.
Yeah, we can make fun of Lego.
Yeah.
Y'all go get.
Anybody else got anything you want to mention before we call it a night?
Y'all go and get.
Yeah,
Void
that's what we're
Gallahorn.
gonna do.
Void Gallahorn.
I'm excited to hear more about Triton's PC too, because that's really exciting.
He can tell us when we're playing PUBG. He has Steam already.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I did have to do the Steam thing yesterday.
Could be tonight if you downloaded it fast enough.
Probably not. Not me anyway.
Probably not. Aw.
What?
Well,
we're finishing a little bit early, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining us this week. Really appreciate you joining us. For those listening, the beginning and end of the episode, Wilson has been eating these gummies, and Hov has been opening up his mouth from time to time as Wilson throws gummies at the screen
through the internet.
We got new cameras.
We got thank you, Blue microphones and headphones, for this amazing technology. It's pretty incredible.
Couldn't do it without you.
If you want to learn more about RezoCast, RezoCast, or if you want to talk to RezoCast on Twitter, you can at RezoCast on Twitter. You can also find more about Team Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter. This has been Lego, aka Lego Le Flash. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego Le Flash. Hov, where can they find you?
That was a little rap god right
Wilson,
there.
The way your face went, you look like what's his name from Seinfeld? Not
Kramer?
Kramer, yeah.
Dude, I was mesmerized by the flow of the rap god right there.
Oh man.
You can find me
in
the club. Bottle full of bub. You can find me on Twitter at Hov76, on Twitch, streaming definitely every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, doing this show with my best friend Lego and some other people. But also maybe
some other people. It doesn't sound like something that an international man of mystery would say.
I was trying so hard not to spit out my water.
I know.
the entire time.
I was gonna wait another second, but I thought you might actually spit it out. But
I
anyway,
almost did.
yeah, Twitter, Twitch, that's it, at Hov76, HOV76, and Discord. Because we do Discord things.
Yep. Newman.
I participated in that today.
Yeah, he did. Not very well, but he did.
What do you mean very right?
Go ahead. I don't know who's next, because technically Triton's like the OG, but Wilson's
Well, you
like
call it out, Hov. It's your responsibility to call out who's next.
I think we went Wilson me last time. That's fine.
Yo, you can find me on Twitter at Ryu Wilson. That's RYU Wilson, and I'm gonna eat the entire bag of these gummy bears.
Not the entire bag.
sugar-free.
Not the entire bag.
It's not. It's not the
yeah.
sugar-free ones, is it? Because have you read the Amazon reviews on those?
These are hold on. Here you go, Hope. These are fat-free, gluten-free, low sodium. Didn't say anything about sugar.
Okay, you're good. You're good. You need to go read the reviews on Amazon of the sugar-free ones. It's incredible.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. It's hilarious.
Am I gonna have an issue?
I mean, you just go read the reviews. You'll see what you're up against.
Are you saying I shouldn't eat this entire bag?
You should eat the entire bag.
Maybe.
You're not going to be able to poop for like a week.
Yeah. Triton, where can they find you?
Okay, well, following that up, you can find me mostly on Twitter. Triton, please. All one word, the please being PL.
And that's it for RezoCast episode 151. Thanks for joining us this week. Until next time, GG.
It's a